Hey guys, what's going on? We got a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's jump straight to it. We're going to start talking about the channel. October's been a very insane month, thanks to TwitchCon, thanks to Twitch Prime, thanks to everything that led up to it in September with the live show, thanks to the Patreon. It's been a lot of craziness. So first off, thank you everyone for continuing to grow the channel alongside with me. We've got a record number of subs right now. We've got just crazy viewership on all of our shows. It's been a lot of fun, and it's only going to get crazier here as we prepare to end the year, so to speak. But a lot of the stuff will of course carry over into the new year. So to start off, let's talk about emotes on the channel. We're currently at an all-time sub high. We broke up into the next bracket for emotes. We're actually pretty close to the next bracket of emotes as well, about 700 off. And that's thanks to Twitch Prime. For those that don't know, Twitch Prime is a service that links into your Amazon Prime. You get a bunch of goodies for a bunch of different games. I think Hearthstone is the current one. And you also get a free subscription to anyone on Twitch. A lot of you guys have chosen to use the channel, twitch.tv/itmeJP, as your channel that you used your free sub on, which is amazing. So thank you for doing that. If you want more information on Twitch Prime, it's twitchprime.com. You basically can sign up completely free for the first month of Amazon Prime. All you need is a credit card. You got to live in, I think it's only in 7 countries right now, which is kind of the downside to this. But you just need a credit card. It doesn't charge you until the end of the month, and you'll get a free sub right away, which you can choose to use on any channel on Twitch. It doesn't really matter where you go. But yeah, that's Twitch Prime. So we're going to be getting new emotes. Those emotes are being designed by a guy by the name of Sam, who recently did Aurelian's emotes for her. And we did a lot of stuff for Overwatch when it came to the emotes when we did the Overwatch launch. I haven't really touched them since then. I've been way too busy with everything else, unfortunately. But we're going to try to bring everything back into a single coherent kind of theme and look to it all. And the other thing that we're going to be doing is combo emotes. So Dan's Gaming actually started these. There's been a couple other variations as well on Twitch. But kind of having the avatar be the main emotion, so to speak, and then a second emote, which will go to the right of it, being some sort of combo or add-on to that emote. So look forward to those coming out, I would think, towards the end of October. We don't really have a full date in line, but we definitely want to do it before the Amazon Prime's subs drop off at the beginning of October, because once you go above a threshold, you're able to get those emotes. But once you go back below that threshold, which I think is going to happen just because of how Twitch Prime subs work, you lose those emotes unless you already have them there. Unless they're already there, they won't take them away from you. So we're hoping to get those launched by the end of October, basically. Yeah, and then we're going to have these subscriber badges on Twitch. Those will be live hopefully next week. I think the first ones that we do will probably be a placeholder of sorts. We'll relaunch it with, I guess, better ones in the near future once we get all those figured out and once we figure out what those should look like. So that is that. The other thing is we got a new website, finally. itmeJP.com has a makeover and a do-over. If you go to the front page, you see your standard stuff. It's got the Twitch channel there. It's got the chat. It's got my Twitter embed. It's got community posts, which we'll talk about in just a second. But if you click on schedule at the top, you can see that we have a schedule that now has time zones on it. So you could choose your time zone. You don't have to figure out, or hopefully you don't have to do too much work when it comes to what time does this show actually fucking occur. Also, if you click on the show, you can either go straight to the channel, or we're going to have VOD links there. So perhaps if you missed the drop frames or you want to see what's going on the channel, you can click that episode, click the VOD, and it'll go straight over to the VOD on YouTube once it has been posted, as well as kind of a up next screen, which you can see there on the top right of the schedule screen. So feel free to give us feedback on that, and you can do so over at community.itmeJP.com. Right now, community.itmeJP.com is closed, but I'm hoping by Monday at the latest, today by the earliest, that will be up and usable. If you go to it right now, it redirects to itmeJP.com, but it's using Discourse, which is the forum software, or it's the forum type style. I don't know the actual wording properly right there. that the Gearbox community uses. So we're going to be shifting everything over there from Reddit. We're going to do away with the subreddit. And a lot of that comes to 2 or 3 things. One of them being control. I didn't create the subreddit initially. And so it's kind of hard for me to manipulate and also mod that. We also don't have that big of a mod team. And so we need to sit down and figure all that out. We're going to be bringing all that over into the forum over at community.itmeJP.com. We'll have threads for all the shows. We'll have all of our AMAs there in post shows. We'll have a fan art forum. We'll do all that stuff. And of course, you guys will help me figure out what is best served to the community by you telling me what you want. So that stuff we'll get to really start working on Monday. But I'm excited to finally say that it's here. And I would love any and all feedback. So that's what's been going on with the channel. Let's talk about Patreon. So 2 things before I even jump into kind of the talking about Patreon in general. Right now, it actually launched about 2 days ago. We had the October Classic Collection, which is the $10 buy-in. We uploaded the Dark Heresy MP3 collection, which I think is about 7 episodes, which for some reason I remember that show being a lot longer, but it was only 7 episodes, which is crazy. But yeah, that is the Classic Collection for October. If you sign up for that, you get access to the Classic Collection for Swan Song, as well as Mirror Shades, which is like, Swan Song is 50 episodes, and Mirror Shades was 34 or 35. So a lot of content there at the $10 level for sure. The other thing is that we're going to be introducing a $2 tier. Currently, there is a $1 tier, which is the lowest buy-in. And initially, I posted on Twitter, I'm sure a lot of you guys will remember this, that we are going to put a cap on the $1 buy-in and call it kind of an early bird special. You guys gave great feedback, which was ultimately, JP, that's really stupid. Why would you do that? And I took a lot of that to an account, as well as reached out to Patreon and tried to figure out exactly what, when someone pledges $1, what we get for that. And in doing so, I realized that it's actually like stupidly good in terms of the cut there. So we're going to leave that. We're not going to put cap on it or anything, but we are going to introduce a $2 tier, which is the exact same as the first $1 tier, except they're going to be getting the Bounce Power Gears Art wallpaper, 1080p, and we'll be introducing all the other stuff as well. All the other resolutions, iPhone resolutions and stuff like that, to that $1 buy, or sorry, to the $2 buy-in. And that's what we're going to be doing for October. I want to add to this in the next coming months, but for now, $2 tier is up. We're going to be adding more tiers in the future once I figure out what those are. And really just kind of, I want to spend a lot of time on the Patreon, but since we did the live show, it led right into TwitchCon, and then right before that was the WoW launch, and I just haven't had the time that should be put into the Patreon, So I need to sit down and do all that. Unfortunately, there's so much stuff coming up later this year that I don't know when that's going to be or how many big changes we're going to see, but we'll try to work on it. In terms of some of the other goals that we've met so far, just to give you guys a update on how that's all been going and where your money's been going. Adam, Jeff, and John have all received audio equipment. Jeff just got his last week. He's the latest. John was the month before that, and Adam was the month before that as well. If you want a list of the full equipment, you can actually find it in the info section here on this YouTube video. It's a Pastebin link, which has all of the equipment that I've sent to them. Feel free to break it up. Tell me what stuff I bought and ask me questions if you'd like on Twitter about why I decided with that stuff. The other thing that was also paid for that I'm still currently working on was a teleconferencing solution, which, man, teleconferencing is weird. I looked at a couple of them and I thought I had found a solution, but then it turned out that they're fucking terrible. And I also haven't had too much time to really dive into that. So that's something that's still occurring. We're still trying to figure out the best one to use. We're currently still using Zoom. We're going to probably still be using Zoom for the rest of the year, I would imagine, unless something crazy pops up. But that's kind of where we're at right now. So let's start talking about some announcements. Let's talk about our one-shot for October, which, if you follow me on Twitter, I got an email yesterday, which was the final confirmation from the final person of the show, and it was pretty cool. For me, it's kind of full circle, so to speak. So little bit about the one-shots. Dodger was our first one-shot. She did the Feast or Famine one-shot. John Harper did a show after that where we played... What did we play? Oh, we played Breakers. That's what we played. We played Breakers, which is another one of John Harper's games, which I think is up on his Patreon. So that was in September. And now it's October, and we're going to be doing a Halloween-themed one-shot here for the October one-shot with, just for me, it's hard to talk about this because for me personally, I guess is the best way to say this. I love all of our guests. I love all of our characters that have been on the show and all the people and all the content creators that have been on the show. But for me, this one's a pretty cool thing. It's a pretty big thing. So on October 23rd at 5 o'clock Eastern, we'll be doing a roleplay of one-shot for October, Halloween-themed. We're going to be playing Dogs in the Vineyard. Adam Coble will be DMing, and the cast is none other than Matthew Mercer, who was on last month. He's going to be on this month as well. He's from Critical Role. If you don't know Matthew Mercer, he also does a ton of voice acting. He's McCree from Overwatch. He's also a ton of other stuff. He's Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil. I think that's right. He does a ton of voice acting, and we're so excited to have him back. Austin Walker from Vice Gaming is going to be coming on, formerly of Giant Bomb. He runs a lot of tabletop stuff his own. Him and Adam have been friends for some time. I'm excited because I've always been a huge fan of his and all of his Giant Bomb content, now his Vice Gaming content, and happy to have him on Roleplay for the first time. And then there is the fourth and final guest. I'll also be jumping on the show, so I'll be playing on the show as well. So the fourth and final character, I guess two backstories. A long time ago, when we first started Roleplay, really actually the first episode, probably like the second episode, I started to have the idea of Acquisitions Incorporated was doing so many amazing things with D&D in front of a live audience and kind of streaming it at PAX, and how can we break that down and make it into a Twitch stream and all that stuff. And that's kind of where that idea came from. Acquisitions Incorporated is basically the group that did it first and probably the group that is still doing it amazingly well. I love everything they do at PAX. I had a question come up a long time ago where we were asked if we would ever do anything together. And I think I said something off the cuff of like, they're way bigger than anything that this show will ever be. That's a dream. That's a pipe dream of mine to have any of those guys on. I would love to have them on. I just don't know if it ever would happen. So fast forward to 3 years later, almost 4 years later, and we're sitting at a bar, myself and Adam Coble, after the Bounce Power live show here in September, about a month ago. And Adam Coble says, hey, I reached out to Jerry. Or actually, Jerry reached out to me, really. We were on Twitter, and he was asking... he's talking about playing, some tabletop games over the internet. And Adam reached out and said, hey, we do that over at Roleplay. And so a conversation occurred and happened, and I'm happy to announce that Jerry, a.k.a. Tycho from Penny Arcade / Acquisitions Incorporated, will be the fourth and final character on our one-shot here on October 23rd at 5 o'clock Eastern for Roleplay. It's going to be a hell of a show. I hope you guys are excited for that. I know I am. I'm really looking forward to that, especially Dogs in the Vineyard. That game, while I've never played it before, it's very spooky. It's very demon hunty. And maybe we'll even get Matthew Mercer to do a Western accent. I hope so. I'm probably going to be doing one. I don't know about the other guys, but I'm really looking forward to that show. That's the first one. Let's talk about the next quarterly live show. We did Bounce Power in September, The Dark Side. It was a fantastic show. Had a lot of stuff go right. Had some small stuff go wrong. We started immediately working on that, pretty much as we were tearing down the Bounce Power build. And me and Scoots and Adam already actually had a date and a show planned when we left that. We just didn't talk to the rest of the cast until about 2 weeks ago. And now we're happy to announce that on December 17th at 1 o'clock Eastern, Court of Swords will be live from my living room just over yonder, just behind this wall. It's going to be a full show, 8 hours long, December 17th, starting at 1 o'clock Eastern. And you might be wondering who the fourth person is going to be, because Court of Swords has kind of a rotating chair. So let's talk about that. Right now, In Control is on the show, having a fantastic time with Jeff. He's going to be jumping off of Court of Swords here in about 2 to 3 episodes probably. He's going to be jumping back onto Blades, which we'll talk about here towards the end of the video. But that leaves a vacant spot on the show. So with that said, I'm happy to announce that Sean Day9 Plot will be joining us. He's an old friend of mine, a good friend of mine. He's also on Dungeon World. He's going to be filling in that 4th spot during the online show as well as the live show on December 17th. Really excited to have him here, and can't wait to see what fucking ridiculous character he makes, both online and in person. Should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. We do have another live show that week, but we'll come back to that in just a bit. To talk about the cosplay stuff that was reached, the cosplay goal that was reached on Patreon. That's something that we're going to be working on a lot. We talked a lot about this in the Patreon post videos of the live show, the first live show that we did. And the cosplay stuff is something that we want to work on. I'm not familiar with it. Pocket fortunately lives in Austin, which is just north of me. And we're going to be able to do D&D cosplay, which, to be honest, is a little bit easier than Star Wars stuff. Kind of. It's easier to do the weapons. It's easier to do the different garments and stuff like that. So we're going to try to improve on that. Hopefully you guys will enjoy what we have for you, have in store for you on December 17th for that live show. The nice thing about D&D is, or rather the hard thing, not nice thing about D&D, is that, especially Court of Swords, the characters are kind of volatile in terms of the game is kind of volatile in terms of living or dying. So we won't have a lot of that decided in terms of what everyone's going to look like or how they're going to cosplay, so to speak, till the beginning of December. But hopefully you guys will enjoy what we have coming up for you. Let's talk about animated shorts. I'm not talking about shorts that you wear. I'm talking about animated short videos that you guys reached the goal of 15,000 on the Patreon for. We reached it about a month ago. First off, kind of how that works. We reached it a month ago. And then the month turned over, which happens when we lose people that bought into the DM fan game or the character drawings or the DM hangout. Those people relapsed and we get new people shuffled in. So there always will be about a $1,500 to $2,000, jump between that. So how that works is not, once we eclipse 15,000, we get one made. And then if we fall back and we eclipse it again, we get a second one. It doesn't work like that. I wish it worked like that. But animation is really expensive and also really hard to find a animation house that is willing, or an animator that is willing to devote the amount of time that really comes in hand when you're actually doing that stuff. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to make the animation quarterly. I got a quote a couple days ago for animation, and to throw that into the current budget with the live show and with everything else going on, we can really only support that quarterly. And I will take the full brunt of all of that. That's my fault. I should have budgeted. I should have done my research before putting that in as a goal. So I apologize that we're only going to be giving one of those a quarter, but it's just really fucking expensive to do. And I can't justify, dropping close to five digits every single month for a 2 to 3 minute video that we don't get that many views on YouTube to make that back. Nowhere near. I mean, it's going to be like pennies compared to what it'll cost. But in the sense that it's already paid for, we could definitely deliver one a quarter. So we'll get started on that probably next week. I don't know what scene we're going to do just yet. I'll probably rely on you guys to maybe help me. Or we'll just maybe go old school, then do a new school one when we move forward. But they're going to get done. It's something that's definitely top priority on my list. We need to get started on a lot of that stuff. So animated shorts will be coming up here in the future. All right, I mentioned a second live show the week of our upcoming Court of Swords live show on December 17th. Last year we did drop frames at the Twitch HQ in San Francisco. This year we're going to be doing it in San Antonio, Texas, right behind me in the living room. On December 15th, which is a Thursday, not a Wednesday, at 3 o'clock Eastern. And the the time is a little bit of a moving target right now. We're going to have Co and Zeke come down and do our Game of the Year show. We'll have our top 10 list. We'll be able to talk about the game. It's games at length, show you all the great stuff. It's kind of a test run for the live caster, or for the TriCaster and all the new stuff that we're going to be doing with that. for Court of Swords, and we also just want to be able to do the Game of the Year show in person again. So that's December 15th at 3 o'clock Eastern. And like I said, the time is kind of a moving target because we got to get Ko and Zeke. Those guys are super busy in and out at appropriate times when it comes to flights. So once we have that locked in 100%, we'll go with it. But 3 o'clock Eastern seems about where we want to start right now. So hopefully you guys will join us there on the 15th for Drop Frames and the 17th for Court of Swords here live from my house. Guys, we still have 2 announcements to go. Roleplay Blades. We finally have a name. We've got a logo too. Here it is. That, of course, is DM John Harper, who we signed on last month to the Roleplay crew. DJ Wheat and In Control, which we announced last month as well. And then we have 2 other guests which need to join the show. I teased them a little bit at the TwitchCon Bounce Power panel, saying that there were 2 people from the light side. Zeke fucked up on Drop Frames the other day. Well, he didn't fuck up. He basically teased it a lot. And was like, yeah, you know, maybe I'm excited to be doing some role-playing soon, and smiled, and I kind of was caught like a deer in headlights that he would say that. But Zeke's going to be joining us as the 3rd member of that show. And then, of course, the 4th member will be none other than Ammunition. She's going to be rounding out the cast. And our first show, I'm happy to announce, will be on October 22nd at 4 o'clock Eastern. And on Monday, this coming Monday, we'll be doing our pre-pre show, which will be available for Patreons who buy in at the $1 level. They're going to be kind of talking about their classes, talking about the world, talking about kind of how that whole system works for about an hour. I don't really know the time on that, but it'll basically go until they figure everything out. So the cast, once again, is DJ Wheat, In Control, Ammunition, Ezekiel III with DM John Harper. October 22nd at 4 o'clock Eastern. Roleplay Blades is finally occurring, and I cannot wait. And now let's kind of look into the future. I don't know when the show's going to start. Neither does Adam. Bounce Power wrapped up. We've got one more light show to go. We couldn't do it this upcoming week. I forgot what the... Oh, I'm traveling. Duh. We couldn't do it this weekend because I'm traveling, but we still have one more light show to go. With that said, Bounce Power will stop. I think we kind of have a good stopping point for both shows. We might revisit it in the future, but for now we're going to go ahead and stop that stuff, which I think maybe some people are waiting for me to say throughout this video. But that leaves a good group of people, cast members that we want to see on the show. So kind of a soft announcement now, I guess. We don't know the rule set. In fact, we might even create our own. I don't know. That was something that got tossed around. In fact, I probably shouldn't have said that. But we don't know the rule set that we want to do just yet. We also don't know the name. We don't know anything except the cast. So Sam, Jess Cox, Sam Strippin, Jess Cox, Pocket, and Dodger are going to jump into a brand new show with Adam DMing. Some of the things that they've kicked around is kind of doing a Guardians of the Galaxy type show where people are playing really weird aliens. I don't know what that means, but I figured I'd throw it in here so that you guys kind of understand that we are working on another show, and I want to have a lot of announcements in this video. So when we know more about that stuff, I would think probably November-ish, we'll let you guys know where that all goes from here. So I think that's everything. I think that's 25 minutes worth of stuff. Again, just to go over everything, we've got the October one-shot happening on October 23rd at 5 o'clock Eastern. Adam Coble will be DMing that. We've got Matthew Mercer, Austin Walker, myself, and Jerry, a.k.a. Tycho from Penny Arcade / Acquisitions Incorporated. On December 17th, we have the Roleplay Live Court of Swords show with myself, Gassy Mexican, Dance Gaming, and, of course, our new guest for Court of Swords Day 9. I don't know when he'll be starting online, but we'll figure that out in the future. Live Drop Frames will be happening on the 15th of December at 3 o'clock Eastern with myself, Co Carnage, and Ezekiel III. And then, of course, Roleplay Blades happening later this month on October 22nd at 4 o'clock Eastern with DM John Harper, DJ Wheat, In Control, Ammunition, and Ezekiel III, as well as the new website. All that stuff. Whew. That's it. We're good. If I missed anything, you'll know because I'll throw it in here at the end of the video, but hopefully I don't. So thanks everyone for watching. Thank you all for the continued support, and I can't wait to bring all the shows to you guys when they're done, when they're ready, when we're good on all those dates. I'm excited. I'm out. I'm going to go edit this video now. Bye. You don't normally say it at the end of the video. I don't know why I said that. Peace.